What's up, boys? It's Filthy Casual here. I just saw this Bleacher Report article on winners and losers from wild start to 2022 NBA free agency on Bleacher Report, and it's written by Andy Bailey. Awesome article that I have yet to read, but I'm sure it's great. But basically, I just wanted to talk about some of this stuff quick, and I figured this would be something to do. So, if you like the video, drop a like, leave a subscribe. I'm going to try to keep them a little bit shorter. I feel like I keep meandering and end up going over 10 minutes. So I want to keep it in like the 7 to 9 range, maybe even shorter depending on the video. But leave a like if you like it, subscribe if you want to keep watching my videos. Much appreciated, because I don't think I even have one. I can't even get one. Come on, son. All right. Come on, son. All right. So first thing is, for purposes of this slideshow, we're looking at deals that took place after free agency tipped off. So, not the Dejounte Murray to the Hawks trade. I mean, come on, bro. You gotta count that. Obviously, the Hawks are winners in that trade because they still have John Collins. Not that John Collins is gonna have massive value, but they got Dejounte Murray. Granted, they did give up a ton of picks. They're winners in the short term, probably losers in the long term, unless Trae Young, is a lifer for the Hawks, which he might be. All right, winners, the max players. Oh yeah, Bradley Beal, Jokic, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, John Morant, Zach LaVine, Zion, and Darius Garland all got max extensions worth almost $200 million or more than $200 million. And yeah, they got the bag. As far as their teams go, I don't know how I feel about the Wizards. Yo, this boy is not competing for a title in his entire life. Jokic he's gonna be making that money. I'm just more so concerned about the Michael Porter Jr. extension now, because they paid him a lot and he's coming off of a back injury, and that's sus. This boy might end up getting traded for Kevin Durant, so we'll see. But it's a 4-year extension, so that's interesting. But yeah, so Cat, cool, makes sense. Ja makes sense. Zach LaVine makes sense. There was stuff about him, maybe going to the different team, but personally, I never thought that was gonna happen. I think he was just saying like, "Give me the max money." Zion, yeah, of course, bro, and I believe it ends up being worth 230 million, the same as Ja. I think it ends up being this exact same as Ja's if he makes All NBA first team or second team. Wasn't he second team last year? I forget exactly how the rule works, but if he meets certain conditions, it goes up in value. Darius Garland also, same thing. Yeah, cool. Losers, Warriors, totally. Warriors have lost Otto Porter Jr., Gary Perry II, both massive contributors on that team. They're really banking on those young guys taking another step, and they got Dante DiVincenzo, but honestly, keeping one of these guys, I think, would have been better than getting Dante DiVincenzo. And then but yeah, clearly the Warriors the Warriors front office has reached the amount that they are starting to balk at how much the team is going to cost. It's hard to reconcile bragging about how much money you print and letting key and popular rotation players walk. Yeah, true. Okay. Winner, Celtics. Yes, the Malcolm Brogdon trade. I think the Celtics are scary. I think Malcolm Brogdon is the perfect player for them as a team. Gives you a little bit of passing, efficient scoring, ball handling. Like, Malcolm Brogdon is perfect for the Boston Celtics. And I don't know how their rotations are going to work. I don't know if they're going to slide people over so that Malcolm Brogdon is going to be in that starting five. I mean, you probably have to, right? So it's going to be weird. Probably you're not running this twin tower big lineup anymore, but probably a series thing. But you definitely want him in your starting five. Losers, Mavericks. Yeah, losing Jalen Brunson is hard for them. Less because of what he brought to the team, and more so that he was a really big, asset for them. Not only from his play, but like if you were gonna trade him too, and now you just don't have crap for him. I mean, yeah, the Christian Wood trade, but and they got JaVale McGee though. That's a nice signing. Um, I don't know how Christian Wood's gonna feel about playing second fiddle to Luka. Not like he thinks he's better than Luka, but more so like the ball's not gonna be his hands nearly as much. We'll see how it works out in the in the season, but I'm not totally sold on the fit, but he is a really good rim runner, and Luka hasn't really had a great one. Like he's had Dwight Powell and Boban, and I love Boban. I wish they played him more when he was on the team, but yeah, hopefully Spencer Dinwiddie steps up, former New York Net. So, you know, the Mavs definitely lost a valuable asset. Winner Knicks. Okay, so we're a winner, quote unquote. Um, but I think the main concern with the Jalen Brunson thing is that he is a score first guard. He's not a pass first guard. Granted, he is probably the most going to be the most efficient player on the team. And he's going to take away defensive attention from Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, which is big. And with Evan Fournier spacing the floor, that could be really dangerous. However, defensively, you're gonna have to hide him. Theoretically, he's gonna do for us what we thought Kemba could do for us, but the passing, we need a passer. We need somebody who's a good passer. Kind of what that Gordon Hayward role on those old Celtics teams was, where he didn't like score a ton, but he kind of was the glue guy for their offense. And you saw they clearly missed him in the finals this year. They missed his passing, and they got Malcolm Brogdon to make up for it. And I was really, really hoping we could get Ricky Rubio, especially when I started hearing reports about the Heat, although apparently that ended up being BS. But Ricky Rubio would have been a great fit for this team. I know, even coming off of an ACL, but I do think it was a good signing, and hopefully it's better than I think, and that hopefully Jalen Brunson will continue to improve as he has every year of his career. Cool. Boom. Next. Winner and loser. Nuggets. Um, what? Okay, cool. Yeah, they got Jokic, and they signed DeAndre Jordan. Actually, didn't hear about that. Yeah, DeAndre Jordan is I mean, if you're bringing him in on like the vet minimum, right, which is what I presume he's making, um, it's not that bad. Gives you something. Boogie Cousins was really good for them last year, so I'm not quite sure why they would bring DeAndre Jordan in. I thought they had Boogie under contract. Uh, Boogie Cousins contract. Oh no, it was a 1 year. I thought it was a 2 year. Well, um, that's something to watch because Boogie Cousins was playing really well for the Nuggets. Like he was scoring like crazy. So if he could be a sleeper pickup. But I thought he had 1 more year on that deal. I thought it was a 2 year with the second year being a team option. Um, but I I must have been tripping. Okay, so fair. They lost Boogie Cousins. They've got DeAndre Jordan. Blah. Oh, and they got Bruce Brown on a 2 year, $13 million deal. That's big for them. Bruce Brown's a great player. The Nets are blowing it up at some point this year. I don't know if it's going to be during the off season. I don't know if it's going to be in the start of the year. It's whenever they have the assets, somebody puts together assets to trade for KD. That's when they're going to get rid of KD, and then they're probably going to look to deal Kyrie after that because in the interim, you probably want to keep the two of them together. Um, Clippers winners. Yeah, for sure. John Wall, taking a flyer on John Wall is so good for them. He gives them another scoring option. He gives them a big threat drive, in transition. And hey, the rich get richer. The Clippers are going to be scary this year. And with the Warriors losing lots of depth and lots of rotational pieces, the Clippers might be the favorites in the West at the moment. It's hard to bet against the Warriors considering they just won a championship, but they just lost, their one of their starting guards. Gary Payton started a lot of games throughout the playoffs, and the guy who started it was either 3 or 4 games in the finals, Otto Porter Jr., and who never misses threes. Like that dude was fire and clutch from three. So yeah, he hasn't played in a while. Maybe it means he's fresh. I didn't think he was awful on the Rockets. So good, good, good job, Bleacher Report. Winner and loser, Utah Jazz. No, no, no. It's a winner. The Jazz got so many picks for Rudy Gobert. Oh, many picks. They got the biggest deal you possibly could have gotten for the guy. And yes, the team is going to be worse because they don't have Rudy Gobert, but they got a lot of stuff from the Minnesota team. They got rotational pieces and like 5 first rounders if you include like, the guy that they just traded for who was their first round pick this year. So they got 5 first rounders, 3 unprotected, 1 top 5 protected. Like, come on. Like, they're just a winner. Yes, the team is probably going to be worse this year than they were last year. Maybe. Because maybe this team ends up, coming together in a way that they didn't because of the tension between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. And you know what? They sold high because his value was not going to be higher than this. This is the best deal you could have gotten. I totally disagree that they're losers. Winner, Timberwolves also agree. Rudy Gobert is going to do freaking wonders for their defense, which, while improved last year, struggled with rim protection. And I think there was a cap on Karl-Anthony Towns being a rim protector because he's just not that vertically or horizontally mobile. And, bringing in somebody like Rudy Gobert to really take that pressure off of him and really let him play more of the power forward, which he already kind of was playing. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. And they didn't even have to give up D'Lo. They didn't have to give up D'Lo. So, big win for them. This is probably going to be the best Wolves team we've seen since Kevin Garnett. Well, Jimmy Butler, I'll say, because those Wolves teams were pretty good because of Jimmy. But this is going to be probably the best iteration of this Wolves team we've seen in a while. And I think they could be a top 4 seed in the West. I think the top 4 this way is shaking out. They could sneak into that. Well, maybe they might end up 5th, but they're close. They're close. We'll really have to see how it meshes on court, but I project good things for this team. The Nets, yeah. We don't have to talk about this. Yeah, we're losing Katie and Kyrie. We might not lose them until the start of the year, but they want out. The Nets organization traded away everything and then fumbled the bag by refusing to pay Kyrie. Why would you do that? Just pay the man. I don't care what Stephen A. Smith says on TV. Pay the guy. Fun fact, I went to school in Brooklyn. I graduated. My graduation for high school was at the Barclays Center. And this pisses me off. Everything about the situation just pisses me off. There were red flags about Kyrie. Sure, you knew this. You accept it because Kevin Durant wants to play with Kyrie. He still wants to play with Kyrie. And you won't pay Kyrie, one of the best players in the league, because of what happened, because of an act of God with the pandemic and his refusal to get vaccinated. Because if it was just like him missing out on some games because of his like social activism, nobody would care. I mean, the TV people would bitch about it, but they'd still pay him. So it's really about the non-vaccination thing. They think he's selfish, and he is. Pay him. Thank you. I think that's the end of the article. Honestly, I don't disagree with I disagree with the loser here, and I mean I will say loser because they lost to Marcus Cousins, but honestly the Nuggets, they're winners because Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are coming back. So, but beyond that, honestly, 9.9 out of 10. Awesome job, and Andy Bailey, you're killing it. Thank you for watching the video if you watched it. I am looking forward to putting out more content. I'm probably going to talk a little bit more in depth about when and how KD should be traded, and in another video, unless I get more Bleacher Report articles, because your boy loves Bleacher Report. Anyways, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you another time. Thank you.